again, beautiful artists, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Along with Skye. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Skye, and I post beginning level acrylic painting tutorials here on YouTube every Saturday. So hit subscribe if you'd like to join the fun and paint along. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. Okay, so it is Mother's Day weekend, and I felt just that I had to do another Mother's Day painting just because it is that Saturday, and my mother was very dear to me, so I had the idea to do sort of like a tattoo style heart, only I bet a lot of mothers will appreciate the painting version of this rather than it on your body. But hey, if you got it on your body, that's cool too. I'm gonna be using my 3 standard brushes for this class. So I have my large square 1-inch wash brush, I have a medium-sized pointed brush, and also a small detail brush. I'm gonna get those in my water cup off the side of the screen. The colors that I have, I'm just starting with, for my background, I have red, brown, black, and white. I am using a little bit of burnt sienna. A lot of times you'll see me mix browns from primary colors. We're gonna be a little bit easier today, and since I have this gorgeous color, might as well use it. And we're gonna start right here at the center. And this can really be any color that you'd like, but I'm going to do a light pink. We do kind of want to do like lighter colors though, so that we get a nice contrast with our heart later. So lots of white here. So I'm just going to sneak in some white there, get that loaded up on both sides of the brush. A little bit of water always helps the paint go nice and smooth. And then you're just going to get in the middle of your canvas here and then get your brush going all different ways and create some good texture. And then I'm gonna grab some white and just bring that right on top. And you're gonna get some really pretty color variations. We're gonna be working from the center out here. So you wanna take that pink or whatever beautiful color you got going on there pretty far out. And you wanna have nice differentiation in the colors of your brush stroke. So you can see some areas are lighter, almost white, like so. Very pretty. A little bit further out. You're gonna have a pretty big heart here in the center. So I'm gonna take this pink pretty far out because I'm gonna be having a really pretty teal turquoise heart. And I think that the turquoise color against the pink is really pretty. So I'm gonna make sure that I can see some of that pink later, bringing it all the way out here, almost to the edge, but not quite. That's looking really good. Okay, like so. All right, now I'm going to start adding a little bit of brown, and you can just kind of sneak it next to the pink here and add some white in there as well. And you can kind of mix it in with the pink at first, and you'll get sort of this in-between color. You can take that gorgeous like peachy color right along the edge of your pink here. But then we are also gonna have like a little bit of a darker brown kind of towards the edges. So that right there is about the gradation of colors that we're going for. So you see that's very pretty. So we have some pink, goes to that sort of peachy in between pink and brown to brown up at the edges. Okay, and then you just go ahead and fill it all in. And at the end of this step, you don't want to have any dry white canvas left. You want to have it all filled in with color. Okay, yeah, and you can either bring your brown sort of over into your pink, or you can bring your pink sort of over into the brown area, or you can kind of mix an in-between color like so to help you along your way. And let's say you brought your brown kind of orange color too far into the center. You can rinse your brush and add some more pink right back on top. Very pretty variations that we're getting. And if you would like to learn more about how to mix colors, so today we're using brown, but you can actually make brown from primaries. You can make all kinds of tones. I think technically millions of hues just from primary colors, but I break down, I think about 28 in my color theory course. Which does include browns, but that's just working from the primaries and then getting your secondaries and tertiary colors and then mixing your neutral tones. And then also how to develop color schemes, as well as some sort of basic art vocab. So check that out if you're interested in taking your skills the next step of the way. Or just follow along with me. It's designed to help my students that have been taking the classes as well. So check that out. Took a long time on it. A little bit too much red there. Pulling some white back in, and we're gonna get a new palette later at halftime. So feel free to get messy with your colors. All right, and almost finished here. Just gonna take this brown into this corner, like so. Very nice. And all filled in. Perfect. Okay. I think my color is looking just about right there as well. And now with my black, just real quick, I'm gonna add sort of like a rustic frame. And I don't have a lot of water on my brush right now, so that I have sort of a dry brush effect. And I'm gonna get the black up into the bristles, and then very kind of delicately, gonna add these stripes along the side, just like so. And we'll have our very own little custom frame. That's a really easy way to make any painting just look a little bit more finished and cute, and in this case, rustic. Nice. If you can get sort of that lines of all of the different bristles of the brush, that looks really nice. You don't want to go too far in either, so be mindful of that. Just enough for a nice little frame, like so. Okay, that's looking great. Just gonna darken it a tiny bit. There we go. Looking good. And now let's go ahead and let this layer dry completely, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna add a whole bunch more. So I'll see everyone in a few. Okay, welcome back, artists. We have a dry background and all new fresh rainbow palette of colors. I have black and white. I have two little areas of white here because I know I'm going to use a lot. Then I have my primary colors again of yellow, red, and blue. And then I also have a little bit of phthalo green, a very unique sort of teal tone that I'm going to use for my heart. So pretty. And if you would like to see a full materials list of all the different brands that I use and recommend, check the description box below. It will take you to my website and bring you to a materials page that will show you everything that I use in my studio and recommend. I did also wash my brushes and get fresh water at break. Okay, let's go ahead now and grab our smallest brush. And I'm gonna do kind of like what's a little bit of sketching and blocking out of all of my different shapes with some white. Now you could do this on a piece of paper on the side here or on your papered table, or you could even do it with water just in your brush, and then that way you can really easily adjust your sketch here. But I'm gonna use white so that everyone can see it. And I'm just gonna grab a little bit of white with my small brush, and I wanna start by blocking out my heart since that is sort of the focal point here of the painting. So I wanna go pretty much dead center, and as best as I can, create a nice heart. And now I almost always start small, and then I can sort of build it out from there. And even when I fill it in, I might even bring it a little bit further out. But this way, yes, it's always easier to make something bigger than it is to make it smaller. Okay. Trying to get as even of a heart shape as I can. It looks pretty good. And you know what? It doesn't need to be perfect. Especially if this is for your mom, because she has to love it. It will look good though. Trust the process. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see. And you will all see that when I fill it in, it'll be even more even. But it's okay also if it's a little bit wonky, like I said. So we're gonna go with it. And now I am gonna block out sort of where my ribbon is going to be, and that's gonna be just right in the center of my heart. And that's just so that there's gonna be two different areas that we're going to fill in with color later. So that'll be my ribbon, and then that'll be my heart areas, which I'll fill in with whatever heart color I choose. I think I'm gonna go with teal again today. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. I do want to adjust that out a little bit further once we get there. Again, that's just a sketch line, so you'll see how those are all covered in just a minute. Okay, let's go ahead and now paint our gorgeous flowers that are going to be around our heart. So we're going to do some colors. This is going to be fun. So let's grab our medium-sized brush, and we're going to mix up a gorgeous purple. So purple is going to be red and blue together in about equal parts. And then it's going to be very dark, so you're going to want to add a little bit of white into it. And then you're going to get this gorgeous, true purple color. Okay, and we're going to just kind of make sure that's all evenly blended and kind of choose where we want to put our flowers here around our heart. I'm gonna go right here in the bottom kind of right side, and I'm going to start building my petals. My petals are just going to be like ovals, and for my purple flowers, I'm going to have 5 petals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to kind of go behind the heart there, imaginary, and then that would also go behind the heart there, imaginary. So we're only seeing kind of 3 fully shaped petals, and then 1/2, and then sort of just a little bit. But it's okay, it doesn't need to be exact, but you don't want to necessarily go into your heart. You can, because you can cover it later, but we're just trying to keep things clean for ourselves and make it easy to cover later. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of white, just right on that same brush that had the purple. And in the center, I'm going to take a little swipe of white out in those 5 directions. How pretty, right? Like so. And then you can even grab it a little white again and make it even more white in the center. And that might take you a couple tries, and that's okay. Give it a try, because you can also then just fill it in with purple and try it again if you don't like it. So give it a try, and I'm gonna do it again. Okay, I'm gonna make a little bit more purple with myself because it really kind of requires a lot of paint on the brush. These brush strokes, every brush stroke matters. So you gotta get them going the right direction. Okay, now I'm gonna go kind of up here in the opposite to kind of balance it out. So fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. There we go. So cute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, adorable. And they don't need to all be exactly the same. That's okay. Grabbing a little bit of white. We're doing wet on wet blending here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So cute. And now again, right in the center. Nice. A little bit too see-through there. So just a quick touch up. There we go. Okay. I think that's super cute. Let's do our red rose now. I'm just gonna grab red and add just a pinch of white into it. Okay, I have a nice clean brush, rinsed the purple out of it. And I'm going to go right next to my purple flower with a sort of swipe of my brush. And to create the roses, there's sort of like a bunch of brush strokes overlapping that are all sort of curved. And it will sort of build on top of itself in rows. Like that. And you'll see a little bit later, it'll be much easier to see the rose shape once we add the highlights and shadows. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna layer that up. So for now, just that main shape is fine. Okay, now I'm going to grab my small brush and create a little bit of greenery. Gonna take my phthalo green and mix it with my bright yellow. And here from my purple flower, I'm going to do a nice leaf and a leaf in the other direction just to balance that flower and add some greenery. Very nice. And then same idea up here. Okay, so we're balancing our beautiful little heart. I'm going right along the edge of the heart shape. Okay, you can fill that in with your tiny brush or your mid-sized brush, whatever you'd like. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use my small brush for this. Depends on how big your leaves are. And we're still wanting to get all of our brush strokes going the same direction as always. Filling it in to the sketch line and trying our hardest to get a nice clean edge. Okay, you can also use even smaller brush. Whatever size brush works for you. Usually a smaller brush will give you a little bit more control, but it's going to obviously take quite a bit longer to fill things in. So give it a try. I have some really tiny brushes that I love to use, but they're also, it's a love-hate because it takes so long to like go over things with black outlining, for instance. So that is up to you. Okay, that's looking good. Nice. See how pretty? All right, let's go ahead now and fill in our heart with the mid-sized brush. And I'm going to mix up the color that I want my heart itself, which is going to be a teal, like a oceany, tropical ocean color, sort of. You can even sneak in a little bit of blue if you'd like. You can make any color of heart that you would like, whatever that you think your mother would like. Okay, that looks good. This is one of my favorite colors, but it's also definitely one of my mom's. So our whole family can agree that we love the ocean. Tropical ocean, cold, choppy ocean, all of it. Beautiful. Okay, now we're just gonna take that, whatever color that you like, and fill in the parts of it that are up top and down below but not that center ribbon area. Okay, so it's sort of like we created a little paint by numbers for ourselves. And I want to come over here and bring it all the way to meet those little decorative flowers. And this is where I have that opportunity again to bring the heart shape out a tiny bit and sort of even it out. Nice. Look at how pretty that's looking. Okay. There we go. And I think I need a little bit more teal to work with here. Okay, and just getting that right filled in there as well. Being careful not to pull the colors into the heart. You may need to rinse your brush if you do that. So please be mindful of that. But also remember, you can always cover any sort of boo-boo that you might make with a second coat later. So okay, there we go. That looks good. Now I'm going to rinse my brush and just fill in that middle part with white. And we've done a lot of our base colors now. It's just a matter of filling in these sort of details now. Okay, just taking that white right next to my teal. Ooh. Pulled a little bit in there, and that's okay. Should be pretty easy to cover. And we just want to have as seamless of a shape as we can here. So all of the different areas should sort of meet seamlessly. A very satisfying moment, I think. Super cute. Okay. That's looking good. Just making sure it's all filled in there. Consistent direction with my brush strokes as always. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna grab my small brush again. So let's start back over here, and I'm going to have a little bit of light yellow now in the center. So I took a little bit of white and mixed it in with some yellow, and I'm just going to do a yellow dot right in the middle, perfect, of my purple flower. And we can go ahead and take that center up here as well to our other purple flower, just yellow circles there, very easy. Now I'm going to grab a little bit of dark green and a tiny bit of black, and I'm going to mix up a beautiful dark forest green. Perfect. And I'm going to come in here and outline my leaves. Like so, on either side. And then a nice little swipe right down the center, and a few lines coming out from the center as well. We'll get a really nice little leaf shape there. Okay, right along the outside edge. Very nice. And then a line right down the center. And then from either side, like so. Okay. Looks good. Let's go ahead and take this same color up here as well. Looking good. All the same kind of leaf. Balancing everything out. We're gonna have a highlight color there too. Just doing this nice shadow color for now with that dark green. 1, 2, 3. However many you end up with of these little lines is fine as well. 2, 3. But make sure that they're balanced on either side. Okay. And now a little bit of a highlight in those leaves as well. I'm gonna grab some green, sneak it into the yellow here. I'm gonna add a little bit more yellow. Perfect. We'll get a nice light green. And adding the light green in the leaf areas, sort of in the center there, will be our final step for the leaves. So each of these areas will now be pretty easy to just kind of go in and touch up and finish off. A little bit of yellow in there is nice. Boop, boop, boop. Okay, so cute. And now let's take a little bit of a dark purple. So I'm going to take that purple and add another kind of scoop of blue and then a pinch of black. Okay. And I'm going to go right around each petal of my purple flower and pull it towards the center. Right along the outside edge. That first one I pulled a little bit too close to the center. I'm going to go right kind of along the outside edge. Like so, just as a nice shadow and sort of secondary tone there on the petals. I pulled a tiny bit of yellow in there, so let me just touch that up. There we go. Been looking very cute. Okay. That looks good. Let's go ahead and go in our rose now. And we are going to add some dark red. So I'm going to take a little bit of red and a tiny bit of black, just a tiny pinch. A little bit goes a long way. Mostly red here. And right in the center, I'm going to do a sort of dot and curved brush strokes kind of coming out in all directions. And they're going to get larger as they come out, sort of layer on top of each other. Now we can really see that rose begin to take shape. Nice. So cute. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of pink and go into the rose as well. So pink is just red and white together. We're using a lot of colors today. It is true. If you need to get a second palette, second piece of palette paper, do that. Do not limit yourself on the amount of colors that you add. So I'm just adding now this light pink kind of in between the areas of the red and darker red, but I want to keep like some of the color underneath as well. So don't cover it all up with these brush strokes, but you do want to get quite a bit of pink in there. Okay, that looks great. I really like it. Now I'm going to take a little bit of black. And with this black, I'm gonna kind of outline everything. And we are actually kind of on the home stretch here. So a little bit of water into that black helps the paint go nice and smooth. And I'm just going to now take black all the way on the outline here, just along the outside edge, just to kind of make everything in this whole design look cohesive. And it's gonna look very clean. And this is another instance where you may want to use an even smaller brush than what I'm using today. Mine is made for speed, not control. And we're going to outline the heart as well. Nice and bold. Pretty thick line all along the outside edge of pretty much every shape. Okay, like so. And then we're just going to take it along the other side. Right along the edge, trying my hardest to make it as straight of a line as possible. Okay, looks good. And you want to make sure that you're kind of hugging the heart line here and not getting confused by your shapes. Outlining the heart here. Very clean effect, in my opinion. Okay, looks good. Like so. And along this outside shape as well. It's okay if it kind of goes on top of the dark shadows that you have on some of your outside shapes. Like the dark purple and the dark green. The black outlines that I add are always optional as well, so just keep that in mind. I just think it looks nice and clean and pretty. Okay, outlining my adorable rose and the leaf. And coming to meet the heart. Now I'm going to outline the ribbon as well. I want a little bit of a curve here to give the illusion of kind of the fullness of the heart. So sweet. Okay, that's looking pretty cute. Nice. Okay. And now we will add the word mom, of course, the piece de resistance. And I'm going to start with the O right in the center. And I'm going to make a pretty circular O, like so. And then my M on either side. I'm going to start by just making a normal M, and then I'm going to give it little feet and little kind of like hats here on top as well. That's really going to give it that tattoo look. So cute. And you can kind of sketch it out first and then come back and make it more solid, like so. I'm also now remembering that we got to take our black right around these little yellow centers as well. Nice accentuation there of the centers. M-O-M. Trying to get it balanced as best as I can. Super cute. Very classic. All right, and just accentuating the little feet and little hats of where your letters meet. There we go. I'm gonna do one little final touch now, just taking some white, and I'm gonna add a little shine mark kind of right here on the curved parts of the heart, and maybe even a little bit down there. And those are the final touches for our adorable little Mother's Day tattoo inspired painting. So I do hope you enjoyed today's painting. I would love to see your work over in the art club, which is a group that I made for my students to share their art, whether it be from painting along with me on the weekends or from their own studio. We would love to see you over there. Thank you so much for painting along, and until next time, stay creative.